Hi everyone, this is Dave Bennett. It is February 12th and here's the latest LPE update. This is a really big update. You're going to want to pay attention to it because there's a lot happening here that involves you. You're going to really be interested. So anyway, we have winners, losers, we have a backup, and we have a secret weapon. And I'm going to walk through these steps real quick, but let me just start back with the last update and let you know what's going on. So we realized before that we had to improve our vetting approach and improve the way we handled the campaigns and then flip the process on its head. Instead of calling around for guys first and then sending them leads, we should run the campaigns nationwide, see where where the cards fall, so to speak, within the budget that we had set for how much we'd be willing to pay per lead, see where that hits, right? And that goes to a generic number, see where that hits, and then contact companies in the local area. Now, long story short, we found if we just vetted people right away, they behave nicely. If we go back into a second vet, like a double blind vet later, then very often the calls go to voicemail or they're unprofessional all over again on the phone. And so we wound up having to drop a lot of guys for that because it's just screwing with the way the costs work. That's not a good idea. So here's where we realized giving stuff away for free makes it tough because everyone promises to do their job right, and yet it's for free. So what we realized was if we do an exact match campaign nationwide with our budget set right to the right place, then instead of the budget going high in some areas and talking to people about it, we run nationwide at what's like a standard normal budget and then see where things are hitting within that normal budget, contact the companies there, have them literally look for a sensible keyword right then and there on their cell phone, see that they're in position like 2 or 3 maybe. That would be the idea, and let them know that campaign's open right there. If you can throw in a few bucks to finish topping that thing off so that we can start running the campaigns and see where the dollars come to, then we're willing to work on that with you. And that way they're pitching in as well. And so we've done 85% of the work, and we're just calling to say, hey, it's either going to be you or one of your competitors. Do you want to do it? We just happen to be on the phone with you right now. We can forward the number to you right now and see if they're interested. So that means already we know the costs are going to be right. We're just finding a guy who's willing to meet us halfway, one who's willing to back it with their money, because then we can start to tell them what to do a little bit and they'll listen because they're vesting. So they're interested in listening. Okay, having said that, there's still a lot more to talk about. So here's the thing. Last update, we were just getting into this. Here's what happened. Our Google senior partner got sick for a week with the flu, little over a week. While he was down, a few days into it, we realized he's down. And so we said, all right, let's just shift our attention because we couldn't do anything without him. So we shifted our attention to website installer. And we said, let's see if we can get this thing up and running. And that consumed us for about 3 weeks because not only did we get it up and running, we suddenly realized what we should really be doing with it for you guys. And so we pushed the extra mile to really make those extra features happen. Now, I don't know how many of you went out of your way to sign up for website-installer.com since the last time we talked. Probably not a lot of you. I haven't looked. You guys should sign up, okay? Log in, sign up, whatever, just sign up. Okay, you don't need to buy anything. We came out with a whole new method for how we're handling that because there is a membership thing you could get into. I'll get into that later or else I won't get through this. So let me step back. So far, there's some winners. There are a lot of losers. The winners, you know who you are. Most of you are self-funding for your own business or for a partner. And then there are a lot of losers because on a double blind vet, they fall off the bandwagon. I don't know what it is about people, but that's why we said let's flip this around. So then our senior Google manager got sick. While he was sick, we got into website installer. Now we made that thing amazing, and that is so amazing. Most of you are probably going to want to rechannel in that direction. We're giving you the opportunity now. So when we realized how far that was coming, we said don't even go much further right now with the get trial leads until we see whether people want to redirect what investments they have that still, or what investments, payments they have made that still haven't been used anywhere else this way. Now, at the same time, we want to discourage any reason for you to stop moving forward because all of this is really helping us get where we're going. So what I want to do is show you where we're at in a real fast nutshell. It's pretty amazing. So if you don't know, Let me just start walking through it right now. Let me see. There's I want to go where first? Where do I want to go? Okay. Let me point this out. When we're doing website installer, what's happening there? Okay. People can get a website and it'll be live in like 5 minutes. I mean, literally, we time this thing down to under a minute, even with a looping video for installation, and it's totally live with great copywriting, with their business information all through the website, pages of useful information, not Latinese, real actual information on the pages. And that's through copywriting that we are paying our copywriters to pound out. So it's totally useful information. Now it's one size copywriting fits all, right? So there's like 4 templates. They all have the same copywriting. You know, this isn't about ranking for SEO. If a guy wants that, he can pay extra for copywriting improvements or do it himself. But what it does do is this. The guy could literally be sitting on his cell phone in his car, or he could be at a restaurant or somewhere, and he could literally order the website, fill in a few fields, and have it live within minutes, totally on his domain name or ours, up to him, and immediately have business cards out. You know, people coming to the site will see very useful information. And of course, they can log in and tweak the pages, enable, disable pages, do whatever they want. Piece of cake, really easy. Intuitive admin panel. They'll get the information right away in their email. Now, we went further. We said what about guys in the middle? So we figured out a plan for them. You know, if they just want to happen to sell on their own on the side. But this is totally awesome. If you haven't seen the video yet for this, go watch it, right? It's this one. Here's the latest one. I did this a few times. Now, I kept getting feedback as I did them. So I reached this point here and people said, that's it, that's good, that's great. Might even use that for YouTube video advertising at this point to earn commissions. Now, let me get back to where all this stuff starts to pull together because it's a really big deal. And especially I'll come to this, right? If you go to an individual page even, right? And let's say you're interested in checking out the demo or buying, even if you go to the buy page, okay? There is a demo button and there is even a video button. And the video button opens up a light box right here so you can watch the video here. Then when you're done, just click off. And so you can do it. Order form information at the top. That is whoever's doing the ordering. That could be the end client or it could be you in the middle. If you, or even a cold caller that gets hired. You know, anyone could fill this in if they're reselling. This is the website information that would actually go on the website right away. So whoever fills this in now, guess what? This will populate the pages of content immediately when this thing is installed. Okay? So throughout the content, blah, 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 company name, blah, 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 call us now and the right phone number, blah, 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 our address, blah, you know, Google Maps, everything there, contact form will work immediately with the right information involved. Totally awesome. Now, there are differences in the pricing of the templates on the websites. Cheaper ones, really cheap, landing page, totally different, much smaller, no admin panel, just a builder. Cool still, right? But cheaper. Then you've got T to HA templates that don't have copywriting. That's one price. Then you got T to HA templates with copywriting, more expensive. Then you got T to HA templates with looping video, even better. Okay, and that goes up more, like another $100. Why? Because a good looping video makes the website totally look more professional, right? Go look at some of the lawyer templates. You'll see right now what's going on under lawyer, and that's like $89 for the video. So if you think $89 plus 11 to install, that's $100. That raises the price 100. And so now that's in all 4 of the templates. Anyone can buy it anytime they want with the looping video, and be $395, which for a lawyer is no problem at all. What's the point anyway? That the affiliate payouts, the commissions, are immediate. They're earned immediately. They're not paid out immediately yet because we don't have a system for that, but it won't take long. But we're probably going to get around to it because of just how easy this is going to be for us to control. You probably know, I don't know how many people ask me, why can't you pay out commissions immediately? The answer is I've seen people lose $80,000 in a day by doing that. It's harder to do now than it used to be, but it used to be people had rings of guys in China and they would pool the money and they would all order goods through an affiliate. So the affiliate would instantly get his monies. Well, then a few days later, or 29 days later, they would all backcharge their payments, and the affiliate would be stuck out. Or the affiliate got his money, which they're all splitting. So they would pay with 10,000, so he got 5,000, and then they would pull their 10,000 back, and he'd split the 5,000 with them, and the website owner is out, down 5,000 bucks right on the spot, right? That's why payouts usually have to clear. Having said that, this is at a point where it's so easy, it's not even funny how far we can go with this. Now, where do I want to go from here? This information fills in right away. You go ahead and buy. And inside your panels, you can track what's going on. You can track the sales. Promo codes. Promo codes go for what? They go for the buy pages of individual templates if you want. Somebody could see the demo in the video here. Or they could go to the category or the front page. So you could send someone right here with a promo code in the URL, which you'll see right away when you sign in. Okay, just sign up and then sign in. And if you want, your promo codes can send someone right to the category right away that you want them to go to. So you can have a promo code with the right category in your URL that brings someone here. Okay, so that they're already seeing what's going on here. Okay, so it just depends on how the campaign's set up, right? Or we can focus specifically on one design, right? Like we were saying before. So we can show someone a demo link and show them a buy now button, right? Just to try and channel the attention into that template. So if we were doing robo texting, do a run with that, a run with that, a run with that, a run with that, see which one's working best, right? And then that's it. That's the one to concentrate on next as far as that goes, right? Now this is easy. There's so little to this deal. There's so few moving parts. How many people are affected by this, by the way? How many people need a new website out of just any batch of people you contact? It's most people. For every like 1,000 people we were to contact, probably 800 to 900 need a website upgrade in a really big way. We started going through website. We just grabbed, you can go to Reference USA and just do it, a dummy run, like even for roofers, and these guys have a budget, okay? Out of all these 16, there were only 5 that were decent. The other websites sucked. And I mean, that's just, if you don't know, okay, that's what that's like. There it is. That's it. That's their website, right? This is garbage. It's a website builder. They don't even have an admin panel worth crap, right? They're not even really on their own domain. They're probably not ranking for anything anyway, but they don't have a chance in hell, right? So many of these are terrible, right? There are just a few that are halfway decent. And that's the point. Most people need the website. Most people need it. And the only reason they don't go out of their way to get it, like some of these are decent. That one's decent. This one's decent. They're good enough. This one has too big a top banner though. So on mobile, it sucks because most of the mobile just looks like this, right? You can barely see below that. Okay. And most of these guys, they just, they need a new website. That's it. That's really all there is to it. And so if you reach out to a bunch of them, some of them are going to listen. For the few that listen, some of them are going to buy because they're going to watch the video and say, oh, that was freaking easy. This guy right here, you think he couldn't afford $295 for a website from us where he can go and fill in the fields and hit go with his domain name, and his new website will be right here. He can refresh it, and it's the one he got, complete with pages of useful information. He's only got 3 pages. About us, residential, commercial, 4 if you include the main page, and then contact us. And this website sucks, right? This guy would benefit immensely from just bothering to take 5 minutes, 10, to upgrade his website without even knowing how. He doesn't need to know how. Fill in the fields, hit buy. Pretty simple. So that's the point. I mean, we went through so many. This is just horrible, right? On and on and on. Any of those guys, and they're roofers. You think they can't afford it? Sure, they can afford it. Roofers can afford it. Lawyers can afford it. Pest control guys can afford it. We got a pest control guy recently was considering putting $4K into our campaign. And I got to see where that's at because I've been sick with the stupid flu. in and out of remission, but I'm getting there. That's why it's taking so long for me to get back to you. Anyway, there are 15,200,000 businesses we can just contact, about half of them on cell phones. And when you go contacting them, then a bunch react and some buy. Now, why do we care about this? I'll tell you the biggest thing about it that matters. Here's the thing to consider, right? When we get somebody in through Get Trial Leads, okay, and they sign up, we're going through their campaign. You know how many moving parts there are to get that, right? You get the new client in the door. Then what? We have to do a double blind vet of the guy, vetting the guy, right, to verify him. When they're verified, we have to mark whether they got cleared. You know, in other words, whether the cold callers who brought them in got paid for that lead because that lead was a good lead. We double vetted them. They're a good lead. We're going to pay the cold caller now. Okay. If it's cleared. Now, has it been reassigned to whoever it is, you know, with their promo code, have paid for that lead? A lot of steps. Then what? Then we have to choose one of the websites. Then we have to choose one of the pages. Then we have to go get the call tracking metrics number added to the web page and set up and everything. Then we have to run the campaign, clone it, and get it approved for that guy. Then that goes up on the board for average funder to fund. Then somebody has to claim it. Once they claim it, then we have to get the money going and mark it as running. So that's running. While it's running, here we go. Those calls are going to come in, and are they the right kind of calls? Are they going to competitors? Are they dropping too fast? Is the guy being professional on the other end of the phone? Is a call going to voicemail? All that stuff has to do with whether we pause a campaign or stop a campaign, whether it needs attention or whether we have to drop it, okay? A lot of moving parts, and this is why it's been difficult getting guys, you know, who are successfully in the door without question. So we kind of slowed down for a while and said, okay, we're going to do our backup nationwide because that's going to solve it. Flip it over, find where the payments are at the right level, contact and ask them to pitch in. Now they're vesting in and they're listening, and this is fine. We can work with that. They're ready to go at that point. So totally changes the bandwagon. So that's one of the two great ways to go right now. So I'm presenting that up as an option. Having walked through all of that, I want to point out what the other option is. So I want to make sure you guys can follow along because this is a big deal. All right, I don't need that. I do, however, want this. Okay, I want to make this point clear, okay? We've talked about this before. I want to bring this back up because it matters, all right? Take a look. We've said this before. If you could double your money every year, how long would it take to retire, right? In other words, how long before you're making like 100 grand a year from that doubling process? A lot of people think, wow, a long time, right? You know, like if you're being sensible with the retirement plan, you actually have a plan. And you started with, let's say you start with $1,000. And let's say you say, I can only think as big as $1,000 right now. So let's say it takes me a whole year, okay, to year one to figure out how to double that money, okay? So I'm going to give myself a year to figure out how to turn $1,000 into $2,000. And then I've got one more rule for myself. Every year, I'm just going to add another $1,000. Why? To keep myself motivated, right? To make sure I don't forget, to make sure I don't treat it just too, because if I don't show up ever in this process, if I just totally let it go and I'm not involved in any way and I don't put money in so that more can come out. Here's an example. You want to double your money, you need to pay for robocalls. Robocalls lead to doubling your money. But if you don't pay for robocalls, you don't double your money. If you don't pay for more, you can't move anything, right? So let's just say you're putting another $1,000 in every year. It's just a funky way of saying it. So what happens? By the end of the first year, you got $2,000, you add another $1,000. So far, you're up $1,000 in net profit, right? $1,000 here. This came out of your pocket. So now you put in $2,000, but that's a total of $3,000. Okay, so you're up $1,000. By the end of the next year, that puts you at $5,000. Okay, which then you go and you add another $1,000. Okay, you say, how are you at $5,000? Because you're doubling the money plus you're adding another $1,000. Double the money, add another $1,000. Double the money, add another $1,000. Here's the point, and most people don't get it. By the time you get 7 years in, okay, you're talking about being at like 95 net profit for that year. Okay, that's like retirement money, right? Some of you guys, this was already there, but this is there. Okay, that's good enough for sure. So if you could just maintain this spectrum, you don't even need this part anymore, right? You can quit paying this. And actually, mathematically, you can pretty much quit paying it after the first 5 years because materially, it doesn't seem to matter much anymore. It doesn't really seem to change the end result much anymore after the first 5. The point is, and there's some, I don't know, the point is, it takes like 7 cycles. This could be years. But if you could figure out how to double your money every, I don't know, every month, this could be a 7-month process, right? But it could be a cycle. You know, each cycle could be like 3 months of growth, right? So this could be like a 3-year project, right? To get to the point where you're there. So the goal is to double what you're working with each cycle. So every year you can think bigger and therefore do bigger. And then how many cycles does it take to retire? Assuming that you're living on 6-digit per year income if you maintain it, right? There you go. There's that idea. Now, let's talk about what we've been after, because most of you guys are on board with this concept and you get what's going on and you're saying, how can we pull that off? I'll point this out. Website installer sales is our secret weapon, right? I want to point out how this can work because the whole system's done. The promo codes work. You can go to send people to the front page or a specific category or write to a specific theme. And we can robo-text a bunch of companies to get them there. We can do YouTube videos to get them there. We can run back page ads to get them there. We can run classified, like Craigslist ads to get them there. We can do Facebook marketing. You can do anything you want, right, that you can think of to get them there. There are a lot of options. So let's check this out. Website installer sales, right? How can that work? Let's walk through this cycle. And this got more pieces to it, right? So let's see if we can make this clear. Let's say we're starting at the beginning. So 0 cycles so far. We're just starting. Say we put 90 bucks into robo-texts. That would get 1,000 lead scrapes plus robotext done within the industry. Choose an industry: pest control, lawyer, roofing. Now let's assume a certain number of sales. I don't care if you want to go high, low, or what. Let's say you got like 3 sales out of 1,000 contacts. What does that mean? 1,000 people we contact, 800 need it. Let's say 500 actually see the message. Out of the 500, let's say 40 come to the website at all, right? Say out of the 40, let's say 30, even browse, and then like down to like 10 are actually watching the video and considering the purchase. And let's say 3 guys complete the purchase. They say, you know what, I want it, and they go for it. Maybe they'll do it within the same 2 hours of those robo-texts going out. How long does it take to send out 1,000 robo-texts the way we're doing it? Minutes, okay? 15 minutes. So could our first sale be within an hour? Yeah, because the guy who gets it, who decides to go check it out, he kind of looks over the demo and he sees all the things happening, image gallery, video gallery, everything else, and the contact form and everything else. And he says, you know what? And he watches the video, which is down to 9 minutes. And guys are telling me now, that's an awesome video. I did it a few times to get it right. And then from there, make the purchase. Yeah, within an hour. Okay, so the turnover is within an hour. What are the moving parts? Basically this. Some percentage of these are going to have a cell phone, not 100%, right? Probably like half, right? So half of the phone calls won't go through, the other half do, okay? That's what limits the numbers. So we send 1,000, 500 actually go through. Out of that, 40 people come to the site, that kind of thing, okay? And then you assume 3 sales, for example. What's the other moving part? By the way, that's, by industry has its own range. And then once you're there, it's good. When we robo-texted pest control guys, they signed up right away on Get Your Leads. They filled in all the forms. When we signed up DUI guys, they filled in the forms. When we signed up auto towing, they filled in the forms. When we signed up garage door repair, they filled in the forms. So we know robo-texting is responsive. That is not a moving part. That is a fixed part. We know they're responsive. You send to 1,000 of any one of these industries, these guys are there. Many are looking right at that message and considering whether to take a look. So the message could be, get an awesome website up on your site in the next 10 minutes. something like that. It could be that simple. You know, triple the quality of your website in 10 minutes. You know, it could be as simple as that, right? We build a better website for you. Check it out here. Your website sucks. You can replace it in minutes without any knowledge, right? Put up a website with no knowledge of what you're doing in minutes. Okay. How many people offer that? No one. Go to WordPress. Their admin panel takes a college degree to operate anymore. I can't even find my way around that thing. It's insane. Go to Wix. They want you to transfer your domain name to their registrar. They want you to keep your content on their server, and you have no choice in the matter. We're not doing any of that. We don't have any kind of controls like that on people, right? They can get a domain name off the page. They can do the search on the buy page. Ours. They don't have to go to GoDaddy. They don't have to go to HostGator. They don't have to go anywhere to get hosting, right? It's all done seamlessly right now on that page. Brand new website could be live in minutes on a brand new domain name or their domain name. They can just use their domain name, set the name servers for it, and continue with the purchase. Real simple, right? We got the instructions from on the page. Now, they can move their content. We're not requiring that they keep their content on our server. If they want to move it, they can do it. They would prefer our server. It's cheaper and easier, okay? Having said that, well, what are the conversions per dollar here? We're just trying to get a clue. You get like 3.33% conversions per dollar. In other words, it's taking it's taking $90 to get 3 sales, right? We're just coming up with a ratio. So as the numbers change for reinvestor Robotex monies, we can see how many sales that leads to. Okay. So average sales price, let's say it's like 125 bucks. I don't know why it would be so low. Most of our stuff is 295 or 395. But some people might get landing pages, right? 79 if they have some kind of copywriting, like 49 if they don't, because we got them with builders and without. But there are many options, means the average sale will go up. So commission, say your commission was 30%, okay? Then you'll get this for a commission off of 3 sales. So you put 90 bucks in, got 112 back, profit of 22.50, which again, from the time we run that to the time you get this, because of this, could be as short as an hour, may take as long as 2 days, 2 or 3 days out, by the time you've accounted for all the stragglers and that run is done, right? There's probably not going to be any more sales after that. Just so you know. I mean, this stuff moves really fast. Robotex do that. YouTube ads do that. If somebody doesn't buy right away, they're not going to buy again unless they come through a new ad, right? Or a new Robotext, right? Still battling this flu, sorry. Okay, say you reinvest some of your commissions, or you use a chunk of that, whatever percentage of it, to get more Robotex. Well, how much? Okay, that'd be like 84 bucks and more Robotex. That's why this number is 84. Okay, and so anyway, I should do this, shouldn't I? So it's more clear. Okay. That would mean you get this many leads, so you get that many sales. And again, there are rounding errors. That's why the numbers can be different, right? Because, yeah, there are rounding errors in the sales, however much. All right, so you get the commission and so on. Well, obviously, we need to raise some numbers slightly in order to get growth. We're not getting any growth here, okay? So do we have a way to raise the commission? We do. Otherwise, you might just start like with a higher dollar amount. Let's say we kicked it off with 120. How's that affect things? Oh, well, of course, if we did with 120, we'd have more than 3 sales by now. So what would that, I don't know, 5. Again, these numbers can be played with and you'll see where you're at. Okay, well, this is cool. This starts to move things up quickly because, again, these cycles could be, let's say, honestly, let's say you kept paying for more Robotex. We kept getting the orders put through, but we were cycling through and making sure to line everything up. And making sure we're using your promo code, going to your category, and we're cross-pollinating. So as you guys are making these investments, we know where the money's coming from and going. Okay. So what's that mean? That means that, you're getting a lot better commission. Okay. And you're reinvesting and you're going through. So this could be like every cycle could be 3 days. That's what I wanted to say. So this could be like, 5 weeks, like 36 days or something like that. 5 weeks, could put you to this point where your last run gave you that much in profit for that 3-day increment plus the 3 days before it. Okay. Way fewer moving parts. Okay. Way less to consider or worry about, than with Get Trial Leads, where we have to go through all that work just to get good leads to a client in order to reach out to them and talk to them about signing up on a contractual deal. And then we're going to have to keep up with them to see, make sure they get the payment in for the contractual deal so that we can get the payment into you guys, that they don't have any trouble with any of the calls. So everything's fine. So let's start playing with numbers. Okay. Let's say, let's bring this back down again. Let's say we go down to like 4, because I just want to make a point. Say we come down to 4, okay? And say we come down to 90. Oh, I just want to use like 1,000 leads, right? Well, say the average sales price is typically higher because we're getting people right to the category or right to a template page, and we're talking upgrade your website instead of get a landing page. Average sale then would be like what, $295, say. Okay. So 90 bucks, 1,000, 4 sales. Oh, 295. Okay. Now you're talking about nuts money that's higher than we can even begin to understand. Let's take it down an edge. 4 sales for 90 bucks. I doubt it. Let's see what 3 would do. More realistic, still like huge, right? What would that mean? At 30% commission, okay? Your commission, what, dollars of commission is not that. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it is, because it's 3 sales. Yep, it's 3 sales. And then that would leave your profit there. Say put 75% in or 200 bucks back in for more. Well, then your next run at 200 bucks would get like that many leads out, which would get like that many sales. Again, rounding. Keep it in mind. All this has got rounding errors. Say we only got like 2 sales for every 90, There. Now you're looking at numbers that at least feel like still awesome, but like worst case scenario. I mean, that's almost worst case scenario, right? Would be like this, right? And you can still affect it. Say you put 100% of your money back in for more robotexts, right? Look at how fast that changes everything, right? In other words, these are your leaps. That's just like here, your 7-step retirement plan. You're trying to get this to happen by doubling your money once a year. We're giving you a vehicle to double your money like every 3 days if you really want, okay? And this is what we're after. Now, here's the thing that's really, oh yeah, of course. Here's the thing that's really interesting about this. This is available for the public. Now, let me just take this down. I want to see what it takes to pull this off. Okay. Say you only got 1 sale per 90, right? Like out of 1,000 contacts. I want to make some other points. The public, there is an option in the system where you can get commission for free, or if you sign up to a monthly plan for 50 bucks a month, or 500 a year, which is 2 months free. That is like saying, I commit to providing you a base sale every month, right? That's what that 50 bucks a month is. I commit to getting us a sale every month. Okay. What do we do with that commitment? Those revenues, the 50 buck a month revenues or 500 buck a year revenues, we use them for more copywriting, so that we can put more copywriting on more templates and get them up. We have templates for so many industries, and they all need copywriting. You need copywriting, which raises the general price, which raises the average sale price. And we can also put in more looping videos. 1 looping video, 89 bucks. We need 2 months of membership from one guy just to cover that and get the looping video into the 4 templates and recompile those zip files and SQL files and upload them back into the system so that they're available again. For the 11 bucks with a man-hour work, if we could fit it in, and that it literally takes 2 monthly payments just to do that, for 4 templates in 1 industry, right? Crazy. But if we're getting your monthlies, then we can improve these other templates and just crank them up, okay, which is awesome. Because right now we only have 3 industries that have copywritten templates. It's 4 templates each, copywritten, but 3 industries. So only 12 templates right now for websites have copywriting on them. Pretty soon that'll also be added into the related landing pages. So it'll be a few more. But there you go. Now, I got a question. What kind of leverage do you think we can add for guys who are preferred members? Okay, if this is going out to the masses at 30%, oh yeah, here's the point. If you join as a member, go up the $50 a month thing, guess what we do for you in return? You get 50% more commission per sale. Okay, now that means your first profit on an average sale of that, even if it was one sale only for 90 bucks, basically pays it back. Basically pays a month back. All right. And if you put that amount, that full amount back into the next round for more robotexts, again, these are rounded, right? But you're going to be more like this and you're going to be here. Well, guess what? You're at 63 bucks now. You're over the mark. All right. And again, this could be like 3 days later. So then 3 days later, 3 days later, 3 days later, 3 days later, 3 days later. Okay. Again, this is like what? 12 times 3 is 36 days. That's like a month and a week, right? That's like 5 weeks. This is a 5-week climb, basically, okay? Because I'm guessing it's going to take us 3 days of cycling through everybody's orders, right? 3 days to get cycled through all the next orders, okay? But we'll see. That's because of different reasons. When people make their orders, they can let us know what URL they want to launch, whether it's a category or a template. Also, when you make your order, do you want to include your own text, right? Instead of our standard text for that option, right? Some people are going to say, choose for me, which is fine. That's how we learn. Other people are going to say, I want to try this pitch right here with my payment, okay? So guys who are on this 45% commission can choose to do that. A lot of people are going to upgrade for the obvious reason that it changes the numbers. What is it at 30%? If you didn't pay 50 bucks for the month, you're not even making a commission or a profit yet. Okay, you would need to be at the 2 sales mark for that to even be possible. Okay. And who knows where things go. I mean, it could be wild, right? But if you're at 45% commission, it's huge, right? 90 bucks, one sell, okay? If you assume that, then there you go, all right? Now, oh, by the way, just so you know, here, let me fix these, okay? No fill. I want to make this point. Everything in yellow, oh, yeah. Same thing, okay? All right, everything in yellow is something you can change. You can change how much you want to put in a robotext. Right now, the pricing is $1,000 for $90. Okay, so they're 9 cents each. That totally includes paying for lead scrapes and robotexts, and that's also just helping back this whole thing. Second, the sales. You can determine how many sales you get out of that many cents, right? Whatever that comes to. You can determine that. Then the average sales price, decide what your commission level would be, and then so on and so forth. Here's the thing now. For all you get trial lead, this is open to the public stuff. So you think, what about us? What about the guys who help back the project to get you guys this far with something this cool? Because honestly, I think most of you, except for you guys who have winning campaigns now, instead of trying to handshake everyone on the average right now with the backup plan, going nationwide with the exact match, and finding the guy and meet the halfway to set it up and get them to agree when they realize that they got a couple of good leads and blah, 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 that's a lot of work. A long lead time, and then payouts are like every week at the best. Lagging 3 weeks because we have to run the campaign for a week, then send them an invoice for a week, then give them the time to pay and go over any confusing calls, and then go ahead and get the payout to you for a week. Well, that's okay, especially for those of you who really care about getting AdWords going for your own company. But if you really don't care, if you're one of the choose for me guys, you don't care what the vehicle is, as long as it produces the cash, right? This is the first of its kind that we've ever seen out there. If you go to most places like ThemeForce and you go buy a template, or you buy a template from us, it's so different it's not even the same market anymore. Who goes to ThemeForce and buys a template? Roofers, No. Plumbers? No. Who does that? Website developers, website designers. So what's the pitch on Theme Forest? All of the technical terminology for each template, right? That is totally different than a roofer who just wants a nice new website but doesn't have any real money. He can't afford like a $4,000 website with the image gallery and the video gallery and content being written by copywriters, or he has to think it up, which is always a pain for everyone, right? Is having to get that stuff done. If you can just let him choose from among 4 awesome templates and just type in a couple of bits of data, choose a domain name or select his and hit go, and it's totally done in the next minute. That means you pitch right to the roofer for the roofer templates. You pitch right to the plumber for the plumber templates. Totally amazing, totally different, okay? That experience is a huge thing, all right? So here's the point. All of you guys that got us this far, this is the private stuff for you. Let me clarify. For the public, they contend with 30% commission, okay? And they're going to have to see what they can pull off, you know, if they want to give us their best pitch. And hopefully they get 1 or 2 sales per 90. Anyway, who knows how many they're going to wind up getting. But you guys on the inside, you know where the leverage is at, right? Let's say it was just 1. Where's the leverage? Higher commission, right? The leverage is higher commission. By the way, there are 9 of us physically who have to split our end of the commission. And that's after hard costs are taken into account out of it, because we have to take the hard costs for the domain name. You know, we have to take the separately. We have to take the hard costs for the C panel. That is why we're trying to get the commissions up, and yet allow for a membership for those of you who want to get higher commission by committing to a sale a month. Here's the inside scoop for Get Trial Leads members. All of you guys who pushed us up, your base rate that is not publicized, your commission rate starts at 50. 50. If you don't sign up to the affiliate ship, it's 50. If you sign up to the affiliate ship, okay, and this is so you can power play your way to the top hard and fast, make up all the money you put in hard and fast. Obviously, the bigger players have the bigger budgets, so they can do this faster. And they vested more in. We're not insensitive. We know that. We're going to have some more upgrades for you that you're going to love later. Like some of you have put in 5K. Some of you have put in 10K. Some of you have put in 15K. Those of you at a higher level of the game wonder where you can go, you know, beyond this. We'll let you know you're happy with all this kind of. I know guys who are biting at the bit over this. I know one guy wants to put 10K into Facebook ads as soon as this thing is done. Another lady wants to run this through her massive downline. She's got like 9,000 members as soon as it's done. There's somebody with an orthodontist downline of like orthodontist membership of like 16,000, where the orthodontists need help with this. We're going to get copywriting into those templates and open that up. For those of you who go out of your way to say, I'll commit to the membership, $500 a year or $50 a month, you get 75% commissions. We're getting almost nothing out of it, because after taking out the hard costs from what's left, split by 9 people involved, then it's almost nothing. But what's the point? We are making sure to give back to the guys who got us all here, because now we're down to almost no moving parts. Practice a couple of robotext messages. You guys are the guinea pigs. By making your payments, we run out some messages. The better we get, the faster we make everyone a lot of money, and the faster we can go through the stair-stepping routine. This leads to this, leads to this. Again, this, I don't know how to see it this way, really. I mean, can I really picture that per person? I can't. But is it possible? Well, let me point this out. I don't have it up anymore. In Reference USA alone, that's 15 million businesses that we can cycle through. We know what the rules are for doing that, but we can cycle through that. We can hit tons a day. Okay? We know, and by the time we run out, we can start over and keep going. We can set up as many parallel routines as we want. Could we theoretically contact 15 million businesses a day? Yeah. Let's assume 15 million a month. Okay. The point, or like 3.5 million a week, whatever. You know how much money can come out of that. For anyone who thinks, well, I don't know if everyone wants to buy a new website, we're saying we're with you on that. We're saying out of 1,000 guys and at least like 500 who see your message, not even 1% buys. We're saying like 1/5 of 1% buys. And yet that justifies this whole chart. Okay. And if these are 3-day cycles, okay, because we're going to get efficient with everybody, we're going to improve the message. This is just going to blast for everyone. Then this becomes very, very believable because this is everyone nature. We once did a check. I forget if we told you. It was like in Orlando alone. Orlando, the city. There were like 1,400 lawyers that did one thing, right? It was totally insane. Okay. So I just want to make this point. What is the turnaround time, by the way? Is this like a week to run the ads plus a week for invoicing and discussing any particular calls that didn't necessarily make sense, plus a week for us to organize our payouts to you and get them out to you? No. This is, by the time we put this through, this is usually done within 3 days. Done. Like you've earned it. It's just a question of when we dare to pay you out based on the behavior. But since we're tracking the behavior, then we're pretty sure we know what's going on. We can always tell by now if these businesses are real and if they're unrelated, and if, especially for the guys who are using their own domains, right? I mean, it's really obvious. And then when people are filling in their business details, it's easy to look that up. Our only necessary vetting in a case like that may come down to that. Could someone game it? I guess someone could try. Someone could try to emulate a bunch of companies and buy through, affiliate links. But really, out of all the different accounts, no. By the way, do they have to make PayPal payments? No. They can pay with a credit card very easily. So it's going to be pretty transparent and pretty obvious what's happening right away. So payouts will be fast. It could get down to every 3 days, which means that by the end of a 5-week period, who knows, this could be you. Okay, I'm just going to say it in a dumb way. I don't believe it. I mean, 6,400,000 to one guy in 5 weeks without any slowdown from like PayPal going, we got to check what you're doing just to make sure it's legit. But we are one of PayPal's oldest customers, and we absolutely have tons of leverage. And so even if they slow things down, that's just, okay, guys, we got to clarify to them. They got to look and see, maybe hold it for a week to make sure nobody's screaming that their credit card got stolen, but then we'll be back in the game. PayPal always does that when you hit a new level of business at a higher level than you have before. Like right now, if somebody makes a $40,000 payment to my PayPal account, PayPal won't mind because they've seen that before. They've seen it before on more than one occasion. But if like a whole ton of payments came in hard and fast, they've done this before too. They'll let the payments come, but they'll hold the payments in the middle. As long as I'm cool with that, they'll let the payments keep coming, and they'll just watch, make sure credit card doesn't get stolen. And then they'll say, okay, you're clear, and then we're back to business. Are there a lot of guys who cross that line? Yeah, tons. There are a number of guys who are out there doing huge volume like that because they just had to get over the hump, right? If you went with authorized.net, kind of the same thing will happen. So it's the same concept, just making sure you guys are above board. So who knows? This might really take 6 weeks. I think you get the point. This is totally doable, okay? So I don't know if it's going to go that far or what, but most of you guys are covered back on your investments by 9 days in, maybe. The rest of you like 2 weeks in, or well, most of the rest of you, rest of you is up in here, and you're totally back to normal. How's that? So the reason that we quit focusing on Get Trial Leads so much is because we wanted to finish this so we could offer you a chance to focus on this more. Some of you guys have money in campaigns. The money hasn't been used up. You got to go back and figure everyone's credit. But in the meantime, all I can say is this. It's a really, really good idea. Go to website installer. If you haven't done this yet, sign up. Okay? Get into this thing and hit the sign up button and just sign up, right? It doesn't really matter if you use a referral code to sign up. just cause, and then just sign up. And then after you're signed up on the inside of the system, right? You know what? No, that's fine. That's fine. Just do it because we're controlling everything on the inside of the system. Um, Let me know if you can sign up with the same email address that you use for Get Trial Leads. That's totally awesome because we have an exact match, right? We recognize you. We know you're a Get Trial Leads member because we are going to manually increase your commission payout, which gives you so much of a huge edge over everyone else. For the same money spent, you can compound into a much higher return than everyone else. Okay? Totally awesome. Okay? And when you get in there, you'll see an option for click here to see how to earn 50% more commissions. I totally recommend doing it. The difference between 50% and 75% commissions for Get Trial Leads members, absolutely huge. Just no joke, right? So this video is going to be up long enough for you guys for Get Trial Leads to know what's going on. Then, of course, it's going to be made private or whatever because we are going to move into the public description of everybody coming and joining, and those numbers are 30 and 45%, okay? Not 50 and 75, all right? There's more, guys are going to be able to take templates that they buy if they want with some of their profits. You might choose to buy some templates. Why? Modify them or pay us to create some new ones for particular uses that you are interested in and put them up into the system. Why? Because then all of the affiliates inside the system can sell those. They have URLs for them. They can run robotext for them. I would say most everything we'll do in here will tend to be brick and mortar, although I won't confirm that because I don't know if that's true. Maybe some of you guys are going to want to run with downlines and MLM. Here's another one. It is possible for us, if you include a zip file for something awesome and a SQL database if there needs to be one, we can create your upload package for software that's useful for people. And that software can be sold. Where do you think that's going? That's going here. Publicly owned projects. Sooner or later, there are going to be categories in here, and maybe all these will wind up being offered up, where by paying for ownership or by providing ownership, by providing your template, so whatever gets bought, you get a payout based on it being your template that you put in there. Okay? There is a pool of opportunity unfolding right here that's paying almost immediately compared to Get Trial Leads. And it is flexible enough we could use it for forms, we could use it for review softwares, anything that's files, anything that's files with the database connected to it. We can make something that can be installed to a website. Okay, and this can work for pretty much anything anyone built that they cannot automatically install, so they have to charge for the man hours. This will beat all that because this automates that upload and installation onto a website, and it's done on your website or ours. It's up to you totally, right? And yeah, all of this is totally a big deal. Okay, so we're still running it. You can still just pay money, lean back, and let us do all the work. Because by paying for the membership, we get our guys on the copywriting for the new industries. And then by paying for robocalls, we run the robocalls and you just get the sales coming off your promo codes. So we'll have a way to be able to put up the status, right? Like payment collected, information gathered, running, finished. And running and finished is really a couple of minutes. So we'll just say ran. And you'll know it ran. And sooner or later, we'll figure out some way of putting up tracking so that people can see the hits through the promo codes. That's not hard, so we'll figure that out. It'll just appear in your panel and you start seeing it. That way, you'll be able to see like how many people came through your URL. But most of you guys don't want to study it. You just want us to keep running the different messages out for the different industries until what? Until we flatly start getting tons of hits, and then just tell everyone, hey, when you pay for the next round, we have a pretty good understanding of how much you're going to make off of it anyway. I will say this. Here's another thing we're doing. We are keeping track of a total percentage of everyone that came in through Get Trial Leads, from the guys who paid the least through the guys who paid the most and made several payments. we are literally building right now a percentage ownership concept, okay? That means we're figuring out what everyone's individual percentage input out of the total is so that we can actually reflect that back to you. Because sooner or later, as we get some of this stuff going, even through our own links, then with the money that can be available for payouts, we can do a split on that percentage automatically, and somebody's out there, guys. Okay. Now, what are we going to do with that? We don't know yet. In the meantime, make your own money back. But the point is this: we want to absolutely track the percentages so that the guys who add more have an incentive to keep adding because we continue to track. It's a publicly owned system, and sooner or later, the most payouts are going to the guys who own the most percentage of this. This and Get Trial Leads so far are going to be the same system for everyone, because the same publicly owned system, in the sense that we believe in that expansion. Somebody asked once, why in the world would you do that? I'll tell you why. Say you were GM back in Detroit, Michigan, opening for the first time. You have a choice. You can let dealers invest in opening up their own dealerships across the nation. Then you can consign cars to them. They can sell them. They can keep their profit. You get your wholesale. Or you can tell them, no, you don't get to open a dealership. We're going to do it with our own money, one dealership at a time. So they would start with their first dealership in Detroit and use some money to buy the next dealership, and then try to use the money from those two to buy them more. And now run the logistics for them all and try to handle hiring for them all, and then more and then more. How long would it take them to get through how many cities? 30, 40,000 cities, 10,000 dealerships, or whatever it is, nationwide? You know how insane that would be? You know how long it would take them to make the money they have today, right? It would take them forever. So they had the vision to say, you guys can own a chunk of this operation by having your own dealership, right? And instantly they just went across the nation, right? And the moment that opportunity came up, then they said, okay, well, we need money to make the cars to put in your shops. So those dealerships started with the funding money that made it possible for them to crank out a bunch of cars and start putting them in shops. Then the question became, which cars sell better than which, right? And every year, which new cars sell better than which new cars. And then that information gets retransmitted to the preferred dealerships, whatever that means, bigger dealerships or more volume dealerships. And so then those guys are keeping up, right? That's totally what I believe should happen here. This is virtual real estate. You should be able to own a chunk of it. You should be able to add to the chunk of it. And your past purchases should not be for naught, because you're building it up. You're literally putting the money in that makes it possible for us to keep doing this. Well, we built this because you funded Get Trial Leads. That made this possible as well. And that's our secret weapon, because this is going to take off like crazy. We can add more categories. Somebody said, can we do it for different prices? There are going to be ways to do that. In the meantime, though, we think this pricing is great because it's going to make a lot of people back their money really, really fast. Websites cost $4,000 if they have image galleries and video galleries and everything built into them. They cost $4,000. When you quote $4,000 for a website to a plumber, they get it. When you quote $4,000 to a roofer, they get it. You might think, I don't get it. I can go to ThemeForest and buy it for 49 bucks or something, or 79 or 189 if it's good. Yeah, but that's totally different. Those are website designers and developers buying those websites. And they are going to charge $4,000 to the plumber or the roofer, right? And they still have to discuss it all forever just to get it live. Like, what am I going to put for content? Do you have content, right? Where would you like me to install this? Do you have a hosting account? Here, we just made it all happen in 5 minutes. Bypass GoDaddy and HostGator. Bypass it. We handle it all instantly. You're live in minutes. Okay? These guys who are going to pay the $4,000 anyway don't need to pay $4,000 anymore. They can pay $300, $400, and their receptionist can learn how to use the admin panel easily. And they get access to their cPanel. And they get access to their admin panel. And the videos on how to use them. Simple. Okay? So we'll just keep adding more stuff and allowing you guys to add more stuff. And sooner or later, we're going to have some kind of ownership concept for templates in here. And people can kind of own the templates and get a chunk of the monies that come off the templates. People can pay in to own chunks of the templates that we have here. This is something that we're really toying with, opening up. In other words, by providing cash in to different industries or different templates, then every time one of those templates are sold, you pick up a chunk. Why? You're helping us. You just keep helping us. We want people to keep being incentivized to add so that we can keep doing this, but we're that close. Right now, we're that close to making everyone a ton of money. The system, by the way, is done. It works. I've got like a 2 or 3 sentence pitch to write for any one of these industries. And we already have tons of leads in the RoboTexter campaigns. So it's just whoever's providing cash first. I'll tell you the ones we want to push first. Roofer, okay, lawyers, and bug removal. Bug removal and roofers, those copywriting jobs are done now. They're $295 each for those templates. Okay, totally worth it. Just the copywriting alone usually costs them about $400. Lawyers, same thing, but those templates are $395. Why? Because the $395 ones have, if we were to look at the demo, they have looping video like that. See that? That's looping video. Adding it in is worth the $100. It's $89 for looping video, another 11 or so for someone to figure out how to put it in there, right? From there, and all the information is here. When they buy it and fill in their business information, that will change to their city. Company changes to their company name. And that's on all the pages of information that deals with them. Okay? Totally already ready for them to immediately pitch, hand out business cards for. Okay? Everything works right then and there on the spot. Commissions are higher on that. What if you're getting 75% of a $395 order? That's almost $300, right? So you pay $90, get one sale. I don't care if you had to pay $90, 3 times before you got one sale. You're still in profit. So it can still be compounded. So you can still get rich really, really fast. The only moving part is the quality. Is the 3-sentence message on the RoboText enough to get them to move to the website and see the rest? It's all mobile ready. The video on the buy now pages are mobile ready. Okay, so if you go to a buy now page on a mobile phone and you see this video in the live box, it's mobile ready. The demo opens in a new tab, but you can flip back. You can fill in all these fields easily on your mobile phone. They show right up, one above the next, nice and easy. And you can still use your existing domain and follow the instructions for setting the name servers, or buy a new domain and just put it here and do your search and add it. And then you can still make your purchase. And it will be live like in another 2 minutes with the looping video, and it'll be fully ready with pages of copywriting that they have an unlimited license to use any way they want. There you go. Long update. I think most of you are going to say, what I'll do is figure out a quick way to make this available to you. But I would say right now, I figure if you want to switch, you'll know it. Go sign up to this thing. Okay, log in. And for those of you who want to dare, go ahead and get the membership. Get the $500 a year instead of the $50 a month. You save 2 months. The $50, so it's just all the cheaper. If you want to do it, if you really think you're going to start cranking out the sales, just think that way, right? And get ready to put some calling money together. We're going to wind up doing robocalling. We're going to wind up doing YouTube advertising. That'll be another channel. And we're going to wind up doing other stuff probably, but we'll see. Right now, though, robotexting is the best, safest, smartest, easiest, most proven to us way to get the message to those guys. We had lawyers react to get trial leads. They'll react to this. We had pest control react to get trial leads. They'll react to this. Same with garage door repair. Same with auto towing. They all are reactive markets. They're all sitting there on their mobile phone waiting for the next deal, and they see your ad and they got time to kill, they start to follow through, and within 15 minutes they have a replacement website live and they can go on with their day. Totally awesome. Totally awesome. All right, there it is. There's the update. I hope you guys like it. Go get in, get signed up, and get ready. We'll make it really easy for you guys to be able to start up on robocalls and everything. We'll let you know how. Probably a day or two, I'll have all that info for you. And we'll be able to get this thing pushed out. Okay? This, I think, is totally amazing. I think this will make the money to do all the other stuff we want to do. Right? I think this is going to be huge for all of us. This is fastest way to get paid that I have any idea about by now. Just the fastest. All right. Hope you guys like it. See you soon.